Hey Sagittarius, this is Lunarticks Tarot with a reading for anyone who identifies with the Sagittarian energy during the very end of August 2018. Okay, that'll work. We will look at the time leading up to and following the very end of August, which gives us a look at the first part of the month. Gives us a glimpse into September. Lets us look at post-eclipse season energies, how Mars going direct shakes out for Sagittarian energy, what post-full moon in Pisces energies are like for Sagittarius. It looks like you are unable to express genuinely from a heart space, and maybe having trouble clearly defining the difference between your initial emotions about something at this time, versus your more developed feelings towards someone or something at this time. I believe it's probably because subconsciously you're feeling like you have to stand up for yourself about something right now. Maybe your very beliefs, maybe a work or a project that you're passionate about. You're feeling the need to defend yourself, your actions, your maybe your way of life in some respect for some Sagittarians. Too many. It could be, for example, that some Sagittarians are having trouble expressing from their heart in terms of making time to self-express, maybe in an artistic way, a creative way, some type of spiritual, creative outlet that is an endeavor of love. It maybe that is stifled because you are busy doing work that pays instead, because you feel like you're on the defensive in that respect. Like you have to prioritize hours at a paying job, putting your time, money, and energy into other things. That's just for some Sagittarians. Yes, this card also asks the question, what is honest affection? Is someone being possessive with you at this time? Are you being possessive with someone at this time? If you don't need to ask, if you don't need to ask the question, what is honest affection? Is the treatment I'm getting, is this honest affection in regards to how someone else in your life is treating you, or how you might be treating someone else in your life, then maybe you need to ask that question in regards to how you are treating yourself. Maybe specifically in regards to what I was speaking about first, making time for your spiritual life and or creative life, for making space, for dedicating time to whatever expressions of and from your heart are meaningful to you, purposeful to you, an outlet to you. Maybe they are just for you. Maybe they're for you and you hope to share them in some way at some time with someone. You're faced with 99 may be significant for many of you at this time, Sagittarius. If it isn't already, it may be soon. You're faced with a dream, a wish, probably whatever this creative expression from your heart is that you're not making time for, or that's being suppressed or stifled, cut out in some way. It may be a dream or wish of yours to turn that creative hobby, a creative hobby of yours, into paying work, or just to, as we were saying, make and have and spend more time with that activity that you seem to love doing. And it may be spending time with a particular person instead of an activity. It may be both. But it touches your heart. Your interaction with it comes from your heart. But you can't offer the best of yourself, I don't think, to anyone or any activity right now, Sagittarius, because you're feeling defensive, because you're fearful to some extent, anxious, being protective of yourself. I don't know why I'm still shuffling these. 77 and 99 and or 99 may be significant. As I was saying, you're not able to offer your love to anyone or anything, the best of yourself, of your heart to anyone or anything, because you're in this defensive space. Someone has you feeling like someone or maybe a group of energies has you feeling, or you are letting something make you feel like you want or need to hide. Like they're going to hurt you instead of help you. There's definitely a little more to it than that. You're moving out of a space of you're moving away from a time of having addressed certain unhealthy, possibly even toxic attachments and addictions, which is beautiful, brilliant, very positive. So that's in your recent past, and you're moving out of that space. It could be that certain people, certain places, certain energies, one or many, lead you back toward whatever that those attachments and or addictions were. Can be anything from just bad habits like watching too much television, which is actually shouldn't be dismissed as trivial. That's incredibly toxic. But all the way to deadly substance addictions, people as addictions, codependencies. Okay, so definitely some Sagittarians are moving away from, moving out of a space of having overcome a codependency in a romantic relationship, a partnership. And that's just for some. It's an addiction, a codependency, an attachment of some type. That's all that matters. But for those Sagittarians, no, you are not able at this time to offer your heart, your love, your honest affection and attention to anyone. You are still being very protective and defensive because of what you just got out of, I think. And this is a time for self-love. This is a time to focus on your goals, your dreams, your future. Dream big. What do you really want? Don't limit yourself. Don't be afraid to imagine what you really want, even if you think it may be impossible, is the advice suggested here in the spread. I think for you, what you'll find, and possibly would have found on your own, but I think for you, what you'll find at this time works for you in terms of demonstrating noticeable, beneficial, healthy, spiritual, amazing, addicting self-love to yourself, and making sure that you put that into your routine in a real way, is making a ritualistic practice out of it, making a routine out of it, dedicating a certain amount of time every day, maybe the same hour every day if that works for you, a certain amount of time every week at least. For some of you, I mean, it just depends on what your schedule is like, how many jobs you work, how busy you are, but even if you have to say a certain amount of time a month, that's not enough, but there's a part of you, a youthful part of you, a childlike part of you, a curious, clumsy, imperfect, magical, uncertain, imaginative part of you, that needs you to care for it and just yourself in general, more often, to prioritize that at this time, and we're looking at such a short span of time, you know. That's not to say that you don't do that all the time normally, but at this time it's showing up as what's called for, to be prioritized. And again, many of you may know that and have already known that and or found that on your own. Okay, so this is what's baffling me right now, is that the Nine of Swords is your advice card. So, your advice certainly can't be to go ahead and stay up all night and lose sleep and have insomnia and worry. It seems it must be to acknowledge that that's something that you're doing to yourself. For a few Sagittarians, it certainly could be saying that at this time you need to pull an all-nighter. Everyone's done it at some point, just depends. Again, it's such a short span of time that it could be talking about, so... But for a lot of Sagittarians, it's suggesting that you need to recognize that you are doing that to yourself currently. You're agonizing over something. In response to not being able to open your heart at this time to offer your love, many of you are going into deep and frequent meditation, which is a wonderful, healthy, and ultimately probably very helpful and useful response. But I think often your thoughts are uncontrollably racing toward the past. And perhaps for a lot of us, perhaps for a lot of us, even jumping to conclusions, creating storylines where we didn't have them just because we need them, making assumptions, grabbing on to thoughts, ideas. Possibly being reckless in thought, in that way, by going back over the past too much and assuming things, overanalyzing, but possibly even being verbally reckless, getting into disagreements with anyone who may have been involved. Ultimately, what we're looking at, the overall energy, the unifying message, is that we are up at night with worry and anxiety and fear and doubt because we have this big dream, but we are not letting ourselves have it. The Sagittarius energy has a wish, and it requires self-love, and it needs to be nurtured. And we can't open our heart. You can't open your heart to your own, wish, your own dreams, your own goals at this time. Well, not that you can't, but you're just closed in that way currently. You're finding a way to open up right now. And you have the King of Air in its blocked position as your future card. We'll look at that in just a second. I'll flip these cards around for you, Sagittarius. Yeah, I think right now, and I think fire signs have been playing with this recently. You're just choosing your head over your heart. You're stuck in your thoughts. You're prioritizing that knowledge and wisdom. You're listening to that first. Probably because for a lot of Sagittarians, the attachments you just got away from were rooted in emotions or messed with your emotions ultimately. And or And I think for a lot of you, just acknowledging that you're doing this to yourself, helps you open that heart space, helps you find room for these self-love rituals we were talking about implementing, at least. Open your heart enough to express creatively from it, not necessarily to attach to another person so soon, if a relationship is what you're moving away from. But it is it is not allowing yourself to, like I said, imagine what it is you really want, even if it seems impossible, that is leaving you feeling stuck. Let's see what the King of Air reversed has to say about it. Subconsciously, what's going to help you acknowledge that you're doing that to yourself, you're causing your own doubts and fears, and those fears aren't real and it's irrational. And like I said at the beginning, maybe you're even making yourself believe that you need to stand up against other people, other energies, be defensive. Is making plans for the future, making concrete plans for the future, which probably entails asking yourself what you think you're capable of accomplishing. Maybe making a timeline if that's something that speaks to you, if that feels encouraging to you. If it feels like it encourages more anxieties and fears, then don't do that to yourself, obviously. But not necessarily the distant future, but take a look at what you can accomplish in the next few months. Maybe plans for the next 8 months. The King of Air in its blocked position. An extremely cruel man. This is the future position. He takes delight in using his mental activity to cut people down and make others feel less confident and sure of themselves. He has a gift for convincing others that he is well-intentioned. And has only their best interest at heart. So people seek out his advice. But he really likes to have people second-guessing themselves. He's a power seeker. So a very similar description to the King of Swords reversed. Likes to play mind games. Wants to dominate and control. What he wants is to dominate and control, not because he is emotionally broken or wounded, but because it makes him feel powerful. He does it just because he can. If you have someone of this nature in your life, the King of Air reversed represents a need to cut ties and protect yourself from another's manipulations or desire to control you, or in turn, a need or desire you might have to control and manipulate others. Only pain will come from this relationship or behavior. So manipulation is possibly what's covering you in the position that is your energy. So if you have a manipulative air sign involved in the situation that we're talking about, Sagittarius, it looks like they're not giving up pursuing control over you, if that's applicable in the near future. And that, that very well may be what's causing the up all night anxiety, worry, fear, doubt in your life right now. And again, acknowledge it. Acknowledge what this person is causing you, how painful they're making your present, and make plans for your future without them, free of that type of energy that they bring to you, if it is to the extent of manipulation and mental abuse and mind games. And the suggestion here may be that it would behoove you to make those plans quickly, because they are showing up here in your near future. So you may want to have a picture in your mind of how good things can be if you don't go back to them very soon before they come back around. If it is a romantic situation, I just sort of keep gravitating back toward that. But in any case, acknowledging how difficult they do make your present, certainly how anxious they make your mental activity presently, acknowledging that, and how that makes you feel stuck and like you're unable to dream big and really imagine and believe in the future you may want for yourself, because you can't even think outside the narrow focus on fear and anxiety that's consuming you. Acknowledging that can free you, can show you that you're, again, to repeat myself, letting them do that to you, or whatever energy is causing that in you, that feeling, you're letting it happen. And it may also help to acknowledge how stuck that makes you, or at least makes you feel. Let's get one clarifier on the King of Air, or two. So we've got Three of Cups again. Cancer just had that here in the same position. Yeah, for many Sagittarians, we're talking about a manipulative partner who, and there was unfortunately, three-party situation. I, again, hate to say it. I said that in the Cancer reading as well, but it's relevant here. There was a commitment, a partnership, a bond, and in the case of it being a romantic partnership, commitment, and bond, there was a three-party situation, a betrayal of sorts, and in the scenario that it was a business commitment partnership, there was a collaboration that just involved this type of manipulative energy we described with the King of Air in its blocked position. And that energy is in your near future. And I really get the sense that this is a situation that has already developed, an energy that's already been causing you anxiety and fear up until this point, that is returning, resurfacing, or still persistent, present, in your near future. You have to trust your own inner wisdom, inner guidance, your own intuition as to whether or not your scenario is one with the three party situation, if this is related to your romantic life for you. If everything in you is telling you that you know this person is lying to you, and you even know about what, then odds are you just need to listen to yourself. Okay, Sag, I have to leave you there. We're way over time. As always, I do hope that everyone is taking something from the reading that they didn't come to the reading with. If you need a personal reading, check out the description of this video below. All my services are listed there, as well as my email account, LunarticksTarot@gmail.com. I am still taking requests for free readings. If you would like to email and request one, be prepared to wait 3 to 4 weeks for turnaround for me to get the reading back to you. But there are other paid options as well if you need one or want one quicker than that. There's a new $10 quick fix, so check that out if you're interested. There are rushed readings now within 24 hours. And if you are looking for more free content faster, there's also a Virgo season reading that was recently posted for the collective and may be relevant for you. And thank you to everyone who has been supporting and contributing to Lunarticks Tarot in any way that you have. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please continue to do so. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If this offered you anything, if you feel called to do so, I really appreciate it. And I love you very much, Sag, and I will post another tarot fix for you just as soon as I can.